Looking for the right answers to hard and sometimes confusing global events? Look no further. SSM's team brings unique perspectives from across the globe. Our in-depth independent reporting is to make you better understand the world as we evolve.
Hello, viewers around the world. You're welcome. You're welcome to our Friday news update, Global World Affairs. World Affairs news is coming live from Milan, our SSM studio in Milan, Italy. My name is Matt Godwin Iwejuwa, and yes, we're here. We're here on the second day of the hunger protests in Nigeria. The hunger protest in Nigeria has kicked off. Started yesterday, the 1st of August. The hunger protest is Nigerians reacting to situations of things economically in their lives, and now they've taken to protest. So you're welcome. You're welcome. While I'm here, I await my coordinators, colleagues from different parts of the world. Before then, let's do some recap of what is going on. What is going on is we are having, even though Nigerians are also largely divided over the choice of the protest, the protest is actually to register their displeasure with the government. But it has kicked off yesterday, started yesterday, 1st of August, 2024. And we're seeing a lot. People are saying they are protesting because they are hungry. People are saying they are protesting because a lot of governmental policies do not favor them. So Nigerians are protesting because inflation rate, they say, has made them not to be able to afford the basic things of life. What are those basic things? Water, food, clothes, medicals. Nigerians are protesting because our inflation, annual inflation level has risen, and it's risen far above more than expected. But to talk more on what we're saying is my man, Olayinka Raji. You're welcome to Friday SSM World Affairs. How are you? Raji, can you hear me? Raji, can you hear me? I can hear you. Okay. While Raji is fixing up his network, BD, can you hear me? You're welcome to Friday.
Yeah, I can hear you.
World Affairs. You can hear me loud and clear.
Good morning.
Good.
Yeah. Good morning, our viewers. Thanks for joining us again today. Let's do it like always.
Yes, and doing it like always, it can be without our man George Chukwu from Toronto, Canada. George, you're welcome. Friday World Affairs. George also has the audio part. George, we need to hear you. We need to hear you. Okay, Raji, can you hear us now?
Good morning, Mark. Good morning, viewers around the world.
Okay, sorry everybody. Sorry viewers. I think there are issues. So it's me and you. It's me and you, BD. While the other coordinators fix their devices. BD, it's hot. It's burning hot. We are following from the studio here in Milan. Now, bring us to date. We are seeing a lot. The protests, hunger strike. Even though we still see that a lot of Nigerians are still largely divided over the choice of the protest, but a lot of things are happening. So what's the end bad governance movement from your corner? How is it going like in your corner?
Yeah, it actually started on 1st of August as it was slated.
Yes.
You know, before now,
sorry, BD, let's hear George.
Nigerians.
Let's hear George. Let's see. George, are you?
Yes, sir.
Is it good?
Can you
good.
Wonderful,
yes,
wonderful. Well, good morning, Mike Godwin and Biddy. And Olayinka Raji, when he comes back, we'll greet him again. The viewers from around the world, we want to welcome you to World Affairs today. What a massive and wonderful day is going to be on this news channel. So many things happening, like our man, Massive Mark from Milan reported. So from Canada, I just want to say hello to everybody. Welcome to our show today. It's going to be a great one. Thank you.
Thank you, George. Thank you, George. George, BD was giving us, bringing us to date with, to speed with what's happening. The hunger protest is going on live all over Nigeria. We were here yesterday, George. We were here covering that, doing our coverage. Is the hash and bad governance movement. So, BD, let's hear from you again. What's happening there?
Yeah, it's actually started on 1st of August as it was planned. You will remember that Nigerians gave Nigerian government a month and 2 weeks that this protest is going to start. But instead of Nigerian government to switch into action and do the needful, rather they decided to took into bribing and dividing Nigerians. Like you keep saying, Nigerians are divided. Then Nigerians are not divided. Every Nigerian is speaking the same word. Hardship is too much. People can no longer live. What you saw is Nigerian government trying to use money to divide Nigerians, trying to buy Nigerians. It's there in the social media. The people they brought to Abuja, they left them stranded. Even yesterday, they still brought out other people. And you know, the funny thing is that they are just paying them 5,000 naira. Now, this protest started in Lagos. People came out en masse. They were even looking for the Oro festival. They didn't see the Oro. They were there. But what you will understand in what happened in Nigeria yesterday is that the pattern of the protest was we had two patterns of protests, the North and the South. And if you see what happened in protests, you will notice that in Nigeria over the years, the Northerners have never been part of protests. So they don't understand what protest is. What they have known all their life is riots and war. So when majority of them came out yesterday with that anger, with that hungry, they were exhibiting the actions of riots. You saw a lot of looting, destruction. You know, that anger in them was burning too much, and that is what they know. But when you look at the South, that is where you see real protest. People came out and they were protesting. And now, what you should understand is this. Whatever happened in Nigeria yesterday, Nigerian government caused it. Before even
Sorry, go ahead, BD, go ahead.
all around Nigeria with armored cars, as if we are going to war. Do you understand? So they were there. And now, like I said earlier, the people in the South, they are more educated. They were able to handle them. But people in the North, they are not much educated. And that is why the Northern leaders should cover their face. Because they withhold education from these people. So when they saw the policemen with their armored car, they could not handle them well. What did they do? They attacked them. They gave them a reprisal attack. And that is why we have about 10 people now dead in the north. So it's not the protesters, it is Nigerian government that caused that. The protesters did not start attacking anyone. It was Nigerian government and their military and their police that start tearing gas on them, shooting at them, and that was why you have the number of deaths we have in Nigeria today.
Bidi, you've done so well. Believe me, this summary of the event you've given, many people are listening here, and yes, sounds real informative. But before we go on, let's bring in Raji again. Raji, can you hear us? Can you see us? Raji, Lagos, Olayinka Raji. Okay, Raji is not getting it yet. Sir George,
yes.
Even though BD said it well, but the information we got directly here at the studio is there was looting spray in Kano. Hoodlums were hijacking things. We saw the videos of them really doing that, and it doesn't look too good. I mean, this way, the whole motive and the aim of this protest might go the wrong side. What do you think, George? What's your view?
From the report that I was actually also getting, there was a peaceful protest in Kano and Kaduna actually, until a police officer was reporting, and one of the Arise News reporters was saying that some hoodlums started hijacking the protest. But originally it was very peaceful. They said there was no trouble. There was not any type of interaction, even between the police and the protests, people that are protesting. But what happened was, after a little while, a bunch of hoodlums came out and started burning tires. So the question you have to ask yourself is, when it was time to protest this time, why was it that the government, the only thing that they did effectively was to begin to demonize the protest? That's number one. Number two, started bringing all kinds of anti-protest type of slogan and instigations, which actually what brought about some of these other people that came out. And many of them were hired by the government to come, like Asari Dokubo, that big fool from River State. You know, many of them were there, and he made all kinds of threats against the people that are protesting, and up until today, nothing has happened to him. This is the division that you see in our country. The people that can get away with anything, and the people that cannot. Yes. And this is exactly what is happening, because if you pay attention exactly to what took place yesterday, you see that division. Because some people feel like the law is, you know, they are above the law. They can come out, say whatever they want, and get away with it because of the affiliation with the president.
Okay,
which is wrong.
Sorry, George. Thank you very much, George. But let's correct. We don't curse. We don't.
We don't use curse words. Forgive me for that. Yes.
Please, we control our emotions.
The big one from Nigeria.
He has the right to whatever he does.
We're not to threaten lives. He has no right to do that. We condemn that threat.
Okay, Sir George, thank you. Femi is with us. Sorosoke, better Niger man, and he's been doing a lot, engaging with Nigerians these days because of what's going on. Femo, it's good to see you.
I did.
So
nice to see you.
Yes. So what's happening? What's your breakdown of situations? I don't know. Let's also bring in Raji again. Raji, we hope you can hear us. We hope you can see us.
Okay, I'm sorry I'm late. I'm glad.
Femi, go ahead.
I'm glad to be on. I always prefix whenever there's protests and demonstrations to Nigerians to say, be careful what you wish for and what you pray for, because when the anarchy comes to your doorstep, you can be the next victim. So, they were warned that anarchy will ensue if this protest takes hold. And we've had just one day, hundreds of billions of naira lost in the economy for lack of business, lack of trading, lack of anything that's activity. That's one. Then you have damage to property, damage to lives, damage to infrastructure. So much has happened. So when you now start looking at it, you want to start asking yourself, what has been the cost of these protests? Just like the cost of SARS, there will be a cost to end bad governance now. And then the idea that this is about bad governance. What is the meaning of bad governance? Bad governance is not just about Tinubu and the federal government and APC. There is bad governance in every state of the federation. APC, PDP, Labour Party, NNPP, ABGA, they're all there, okay? But it's a focus seems to be vented specifically at the APC and the presidency. Now, then look at the demands that the people are talking about. Some of them say they want to release Nnamdi Kanu, they want the subsidies to be rescinded, they want the Naira to go back to whatever rate that they decide that they want to do. But these people haven't told you how they're going to fund these things, where the money is going to come from. They want the national minimum wage to be something like 200,000 naira. I mean, where is the money going to come from? Is government to continue to borrow? Then they say, yes, government is overspending and so on and so forth. Even if you cut those, but they make those cutbacks, it will never equate to what is necessary to assuage the demands of these people. So at the end of the day, protest all you will, but what I would like to ask them is that, will they achieve anything? And the answer for that will be zero. And will there be cost? Yes, there will. I prefer to look at, and I also want to understand, why is there a sudden difference in the way that protests are happening now to what we've had in the past? So when Buhari was the president, we noticed that during NRs, a lot of the South was up in flames. The North was, now we have, and he was a Northern president, I guess. Now we have a Southern president, and hey, presto, guess what? All the problems is in the North. The South is relatively peaceful. So you can see that there's political machinations behind this stuff. It's not as straightforward as people are trying to say. So at the end of the day, there are movers and shakers behind it. Even if you look at things like Kaduna, you look at things like Kano, and the specific targets of where the incidents happen, you see that there is a hidden hand. And then the narrative that is government sponsors that are causing those havoc, this is ludicrous. If the government sponsors or supporters of government, maybe they're a handful.
You need to really. Can you land? Can you land?
I'm rounding up.
Yes,
this is a scandalous.
You're not talking what is right.
This is a scandalous misdirection of the facts. When you look at the videos in Kano, Kaduna, Gombe, and whatever, there are hundreds and thousands of people. They're not government sponsors. There are normal people who have decided that, you know what, this is my opportunity to get my bit of government. I mean, they're stealing window frames, TVs, anything that they can lay their hands on, carrying it. You see them carrying it on the road. There's nothing to do with sponsorship from government. This is pure brigandage and pure riotous behavior. It should be condemned by anybody. And anybody supporting this will hold on to them. They will face the consequences in due course.
Okay.
Can I say something here? Can I respond to him? Now, you see, success have no excuses. All these excuses that the government started with was simply because of them. Tinubu came out the first day. Yeah, everybody agreed that subsidies should be removed. In the manner, up until today, they have not admitted the manner. Nobody is saying that subsidies should not be removed. He came out blatantly, without even thinking, announced the subsidy removal. And that's a domino effect up until today. And even you, that is a Tinubu supporter, you should have pointed out these things. But all of a sudden, what we're hearing from you, excuses, trying to put blames on everybody, as if Nigerians have been hungry enough to come out to protest. These are nothing but excuses that the government is doing. When the people started talking about I didn't interrupt you. When the people started talking about protests, Tinubu protested many years ago. What happened this time did not happen then. Nobody tried to stop him. Nobody tried to stop the people that came out. They went out there and they protested. No, excuse you. Be disciplined. Thank you. So now, what we are seeing now is, from the onset, the government never said anything, never wanted to deal with the situation that is on hand. All they did was started demonizing the protesting, and then, throwing stones at other political parties. People are hungry, whether you like it or not. You cannot excuse this away. There is hunger in the land. Thousands are dying daily. They are not able to afford food daily. Therefore, it is an emotional reaction when people are hungry. Not only hungry, hungry. Yes. So right now, what we need to start discussing is to find solutions to this problem, not throwing stones or trying to, defect like an Adamic doctrine of it is the woman that you get to me. I want you to understand something. People are hungry and they are sick and tired of the government ways of doing things. Tinubu has not done anything good that to mediate, what is happening in Nigeria. You're still talking about buying private jets, $1.3 trillion naira just to build a road that is a road to nowhere, and all kinds of nonsense that is being talked about. What are you talking about? You can't even have any face to come out here and start defending the Tinubu government as of now. No face whatsoever. You should be ashamed.
Thank you, George.
Can I say something?
Before BD comes, BD, let me just say, make some observation. Femo, the Northerners do protest, but not as this number. That's probably what you say. The northern side of Nigeria has always been involved in protests in all governance. Yes.
No,
I have
I'm saying that specifically NSARS, there was no protests in the north. Go and check the facts.
They
Now,
had it in Jos, they had everywhere. But the thing is,
no,
it wasn't in this number, not in this size. That's what
there
we say.
were.
Number two, let me say number two observation, that somebody is stealing iron and taking things doesn't stop the protest from its goal. It's not a protest to go and steal iron and TV and food. This is coming out of people exaggerating, some plunderers, some miscreants, whatever you call them.
Godwin,
so on the whole,
let BD speak.
Yes.
Can I speak? First, you have to give me time because I saw the number Femi spoke and so you have to give me time. First, I want to accuse this platform because you people are trying to change the narrative of what we are talking about now. What we are talking about, there's protests in Nigeria and people are hungry. So you people are trying to go to election. I'm not here to talk about that. We are done with that. Femo, see, go to internet during the NSAS. Before I come to that, see, APC sold change to us. And why they sold change to us and why Nigerian bought change is because they felt that PDP were not doing it right, and we gave them chance. Now, for them to keep telling us that, oh, this person did it, it means that they are all lies. Now, go to internet and check. During the protest, after Lagos, another highest town that came out for protest was Jos. Go and check it on the internet. During the protest, after Lagos, it was Jos, followed by Abuja. So now the thing is this: North has always been part of protests, but not as it was yesterday. Do you understand? So now you're saying that governments are doing it. We're not talking about government. We're talking about people are hungry. Did you see yesterday in Lagos, a guy that came out to protest, he fell down, he couldn't stand. They were asking, why did you come out? He said, he thought it was like NSAS, because NSAS, they were cooking and we were giving people food. Good food, not just anyhow food. Do you understand? And that was why when that attack came, most of the people that we attacked was the touts that they were feeding, that every morning they bath and they come, they are ready to, they know that they will eat morning, eat night, eat afternoon, and go home with something in their pockets. Do you understand? Now, Nigerians are protesting because there is hunger. Now, let me tell you, allegedly, instead of Nigerian government to engage Nigerians and do something, what are they asking? Reduce the cost of fuel, reduce the cost of import duties, because we are not a production country, we are an importation country. When you import, everything we import is very expensive because of what? Our government has increased all the import duties. The things normally people clear in the port with 800, 500,000, they are not clearing it with 3.8 million, 4.8 million naira. Then all the thing goes down to the public. Reduce it. Reduce electricity tariff. That was what they told. If Nigerian government had done this, rather, what did Nigerian government do? They start bribing people. They called the clerics and traditional rulers to Asorok and distributed money to them to go to their villages, their town, their constituency, to douse the tension so that people will not come to protest. As if that was not enough. Now, listen to me. The hypocritical nature of our government is what we should talk about. You say people should not protest, say Nigerians should not protest, but Nigerian government organized people to come and protest against the protest, even before the protest started. They organized them, they gathered people from around Nigeria. They came to Abuja. For me, are you aware of that? They promised them 5,000 naira. There were over 2,000 naira that came for that protest. They paid only 53 people. Over 1,000 and were left stranded in Abuja. It is average Nigerian that contributed money they used to left Abuja. Even yesterday that protest started, group from presidency still organizing people, paying them 5,000. The protest. A journalist in the north said that protest is going fine, that the people that is getting this problem is the military personnel, and they are from government. What are we not talking about? Is it not time we start telling ourselves the truth because of our hearts, because of our conscience, because of when we will die? Can't we start saying the truth in this country? Look at whatever happened yesterday. Nigerian government cost it. want to say that during the NSAS has the places they protest, and activities was still going on. Why is Nigerian government trying to stop this protest? The protest is not stopping you from doing whatever you want to do. The protesters know where they will go and protest until the government answers them. Why are they trying everything to stop people from protesting? Why?
Thank you. Thank you, BD.
Can we Raji? Is he back?
Raji is back. Raji, let's hear you, Raji. Are you audible now? Can your microphone speak? Okay, viewers, what you're seeing is pictures, video clips from the event yesterday and this morning. It has started this morning. It's happening in Ojota, Lagos. It's happening in some parts of Abuja. Clips will be coming in, and to take note, viewers, also we'll be hooking up with a sister station, Arise, after this broadcast to be more of what is happening. Day 2 of the hunger protests and bad governance. Raji, can you hear us now?
So, yeah, I can hear you, but it seems as if my network is very, very unsteady.
Oh dear. Okay, but we can hear you.
Very,
Go
very
ahead.
unsteady. I've been struggling to get it together. Yes.
Go ahead.
But you can hear me clearly.
Yes.
Okay. Is it? You will have noticed my posts on our forum for the past 3 weeks that I've been yelling and shouting and pleading that rather than that the government should do whatever it can do to prevent the protest. Rather, what the government was doing was to make plans to confront the protesters. This shows that we have a government that is not entirely decent. It is entirely indecent. Because what is the gain for the whole country now that protest has happened, a lot of people have been killed, things have been destroyed? We had the experience of Kenya. The Kenyan experience was more or less spontaneous. Therefore, the government was not prepared. But in our case, we had 3 weeks notice of an advance of an impending protest. What the government should have done was to try to prevent it. But the government was happy to confront it.
How was it going to prevent it?
Billions of naira to confront it instead of preventing it. Regardless of whatever the demands of the
please, Femi, stop interrupting him.
No, I'm just asking the question.
Sorry,
I'm just asking the question. How do you prevent it?
Let him finish. You can ask questions later. Ask questions later. Let him finish. Go ahead, Raji.
The government find the government deficient in the management of the affairs of the country. The people have a reason to protest. People have reason to protest, and there's regardless of their rights to whether protest or not, it is the responsibility of government to ensure that there's peace and security in the country. If you hear that people are about to protest, please prevent it instead of confronting it. And see what we have now. It seems as if the government is doing everything as distraction, so that the people will not be united in any way to confront the government, to give to the government things that we need to talk about. The success of this government is our own success. Nobody is interested in toppling this government. Let the government do policies that will make the people happy. Nigerians are the easiest to govern, I can assure you. Just do the things right, and people will be ready. People have accepted fuel going from 200 to 500. They adjusted. But to make matters worse, the government decide now to raise tariffs on electricity, to do so many other things that will push the people down into poverty. Now people are talking about, being power, there's no food. What's the response of the government? That people should go and farm. That you could go and buy chicken and start feeding it, as if the moment you start farming today, you will start reaping tomorrow. As if the moment you start feeding chicken today, they'll start laying eggs tomorrow. Government is not governing. Government is playing politics, and government has made sure that it has put the people against each other, and the country is now divided. And what is the point of government?
Thank you, Raji. Viewers, you're hearing it. It's a hot one here today. Intense broadcast going on. Today is normally our world affairs, but because the home is burning, we have to follow up what's happening. Femi, you were
can I just yes. Good. Now, thank you. Two things. Firstly, I wanted to ask him, what is it that government needs to do? I need him to answer that question. And then finally, he says government's not doing anything, that government is expecting prices of food to just change tomorrow. That's not the case. It's saying people to go to farm. The government has actually stopped the tariffs on the import of food and agricultural imports. What's that supposed to do? To allow imports to come in so that we'll have a big influx of food at a reduced price to affect the market. You understand? However, what are the opponents saying? Oh, by doing that, you're going to affect farmers because it's going to flood the market and it's going to affect local production. So whichever way you go, you're going to lose. You understand? So at the end of the day, and that's why he said it is a limited, I think it's 100 and something days, specifically to allow a short influx of food so that comes in, people can then get the impact of lower food prices so that it can affect prices directly. So that's one. You've had local government autonomy. That's another positive. That's supposed to allow money to go from the states to the local government so that things can happen. You've got student loans. That's another thing. They've now said that Dangote refinery is supposed to be allowed to have petroleum. You understand? And to pay for it in Naira. You understand? NNPCL has been directed to provide that to them so that we can do what? Get the local refineries working. These things are not going to happen overnight. So I want to know, what is the magic that government is going to do that would have diverted this pre-planned protest? Whether it was 3 weeks, well, it's definitely going to happen.
Can I answer?
That's one. And the other thing, you can't. I'm finalizing. I wanted to say that at the end of the day, for me, my answer, before you do your answer, is you would have curtailed protest. You would have curtailed protest. You've got curfews in Jigawa, Kano and some places now. That's because they know what protest curtail it have to be restricted in order for the greater good. So if you wanted to avoid the protest, it would have involved some kind of curtailment of rights. Otherwise, there's no other alternative.
So my question to you is, why is it that the president, up until now, decided not to talk to the people, but he will send stooges to go out there and represent him? The president is the president of Nigeria.
I'm with you on that one, 100%. And that was one of the failings of President Buhari, in my eyes, that he was Baba, go slow, he never spoke. And I believe that president, and I think to the point that maybe announced a national broadcast, on Wednesday or on Tuesday, we could have possibly forestalled this. You understand? I do want to agree with you. And that even till now, after what happened yesterday, it is over time that you should even have another one to say, look, after what happened yesterday, I'm pleading to you, he should definitely do that. And those who are advising him not to do it, or for whatever reason he's not doing it, it is really bad governance in this sense. I agree with you.
Bad advice.
Okay. Can we have our sister here say something?
Let me. You said, what can government do that will change things drastically? What government will do that will change things drastically? We recently noticed that Nigerian government is still paying for subsidy, whereas Nigerian government have removed subsidy and people are dying, suffering for it. Let them reduce the cost of petroleum in Nigeria today. Let them reduce the tariff in electricity. What you said that Nigerian government have removed duties and tariff. Nigerian government on July suspended duties and tariff and taxes for the imported goods, some imported goods. And you know how Nigerian government work? They will come out and make lip service. They have said it, but as of today that I'm speaking with you, that thing has not been implemented. But they will say it to douse the tension, to tell the people, oh, we are working. If you check when they made that statement, was on 8th of July. 8th of July till today is almost getting to 1 month. It has never been implemented. Let them implement it. These 3 things alone, let them do it. Nigerians will go home. Things will fall into place. Yes.
All right, viewers. Thank you very much, Didi. Let's do a small break.
Can I add to that before you go, Massive Mark?
Okay.
The government is expecting people to sacrifice. The government, a dead fish when it starts thinking from the head. If there is any sacrifice to be made, let it start from the top. Because if they continue spending and bringing all these billions of naira they are projecting and putting into unnecessary things, especially at the the situation that is in Nigeria, they are not doing it. Don't expect people to sacrifice when you refuse to sacrifice. That is one of the things that they need to do. Let them show with example so that people can follow. Like Olayinka Raji said, Nigeria is the easiest country to govern when you know how to deal with the people. And that's one of the major problems we're having today. Thank you.
Thank you, George. Profound statements here today.
I agree with George. I agree with George today on this one.
Mm-hmm. You agree today, yes. Viewers, let's do a small break. We'll be back. Don't touch that. Thank you.
In a world where news flies around every minute, you need the ability to relate and connect with what matters and stay up to date. Schengen Story Media News Echoes program is Africans in Diaspora and at Home's leading English news network, one of the most trusted, respected sources for news updates on current affairs as they affect global Africa. Looking for the right answers to hard and sometimes confusing global events? Look no further. SSM's team brings unique perspectives from across the globe. Our in-depth independent reporting is to make you better understand the world as we evolve.
Yes, viewers, you're back. We're back to our Friday news, world affairs, and he's still here with my great friends, coordinators, and colleagues. Femi, it's a serious thing happening out there. But let's do a little of our international news. Yesterday, I think that was Wednesday, the top Hamas leader was killed in Iran. That's Ismail Haniyeh. Ismail Haniyeh was down. Hamas top man. Now accusations are on Israel, and Israel. There's some people are saying it's a raid in his place in Tehran. Who has the story on that? Anybody has the story?
Look. This is part of Israel's power to do whatever it likes, unrestrained power to do whatever it likes. In diplomacy and in international relations, there are certain things, there's certain no's and do's and don'ts. Going after political assassinations of politicians, if you like, is not really allowed. You understand? But Israel, they do whatever they like. So the guy that was killed in Tehran, he went there for the inauguration of the new president of Iran, and he was assassinated. But 12 hours before that, they assassinated a Hezbollah top military leader in Beirut, in southern Beirut. So you can see that what doing is they're ramping up the prospect of expanding this war, because you've gone into Beirut and bombed in there, so Hezbollah are going to want revenge. Then you went to Tehran and bombed someone who was there as a visitor in Tehran, so they're going to want revenge as well. So at the end of the day, that guy that they killed was one of the negotiators that was trying to negotiate peace, to trying to get the hostages free. Now he's killed. All that talk of ceasefire is off the table now. So the war will ramp on. More innocent Palestinians will die. There will be no peace in Palestine. There will be no peace in Israel, and the war will expand. This is not a good look for the world. And so, to me, I think, and it also shows that Netanyahu doesn't care about what the Americans saying. He didn't give them advance warning. He didn't tell them anything, and he did what he wants, anyhow he likes. So we got a big problem in the Middle East.
Yeah, Hezbollah leader says.
Can we talk about the bomb that killed 12 children that actually inspired these people to go after them? Can we just talk about that? What we have seen so far is this anti-Israel type of narratives. This whole thing started because Hamas went into Israel, kidnapped and killed people, and still holding some of them hostage today. Let's talk about and condemn such stupid acts that they are doing that is bringing about a reaction and response to them. Before these particular leaders were killed, 12 children were killed in the soccer field where they were playing. Come on, what are we talking about here? Are we going to stay on one side? Go ahead.
No one is condoning any form of killing. But I want to ask you, how many Palestinians need to die before it's enough for Israel? Now, the people that died in that still out there, that died, the 12 children that died. It is unfortunate, and to me, any loss of life is unacceptable. Hezbollah,
this is strategic when you think about it.
Hezbollah are claiming that it has nothing to do with them. Sorry, not us, with them. But you got to understand that the people that were killed weren't actually Israelis. They were actually Druze. They were from Lebanese Druze that were posted that were in Syria. You understand? So, but at the end of the day, Israel took that land. It belongs to Syria. You understand? So they felt they needed to revenge. You understand? They were going to kill that guy anyway. So that's the guy in.
The point is this: they're trying to tell you. Israel is trying to tell you you can run, but you cannot hide. When you begin to pontificate and try to put strategies together to come against and annihilate Israel, they will defend themselves.
This is not about the annihilation of Israel.
Pay attention to this. Pay attention to this. Pay attention to this. Hold on a second. You come, you beat up a child, you say don't cry. You come, you take away their toy and say do not cry. What are you doing?
Are you talking about the Palestinians? Are you talking about the Palestinians? Are you talking about the Israelis?
Coming into Israel and killing so many people. So what they are trying to do is to prevent this from happening again. And I do not want the war ended yesterday.
How many is enough, George? How many is enough? How many dead Palestinians is enough?
Why is Hezbollah?
How many dead Palestinians? Should we kill all of them? Let's just kill all the Palestinians. Let's just kill all the Palestinians.
Okay, you come against me, I'm going to defend myself with everything within me. I don't have to let you know.
Let's just kill all the Palestinians. You're right. You make a lot of sense.
These Palestinians should stop crying a wolf cry every time. They will always be the one to. And when
because you're in Lagos. Because you're in Lagos and you're not got bombs coming down on you, you can say what you're saying. If you were in Palestine and seeing what's happening there, you won't be saying what you're saying.
Coming at the right time is our man Godwin Ibe from Moscow, Russia. Godwin, you're welcome to.
Don't worry, the bombs are coming for you, BD.
Let your own bomb go.
Yeah, gentlemen, please let's hear from Godwin. Godwin, can you hear your audio is not picking up yet. Okay. Godwin is coming.
Thank you for having me. I hope I'm audible.
Okay. Yes, now you're audible. Yes, you came at the right time because the next agenda is we talking about a historical prison swap. We've never seen like this before. 24 prisoners were freed. Russia and the West have done something that the world has never seen since the Cold War. Raji, are you on that story? 24 people were taken from different parts of Europe and America, and the White House said, I think out of them were 16 from the United States. And now also the Russia side had to give back all the prisoners they had with them. So who has the story? 8 Russian prisoners released, 24 from the West. Anybody with that story?
This is really a major breakthrough. Russia has freed all the, what that Wall Street Journal, Ivan Gashkovich,
Ivan Gashkovich,
former U.S. Marine Paul Whelan, as part of a massive swap with about 26 prisoners from 7 countries. The deal is the largest since the Cold War and was actually mediated by Turkey, MIT, and some of these other people. So it's incredible. And this is a major breakthrough, but tells you that with diplomacy, things can happen. And that is the reason why I am hoping that this that just took place might be a precursor to ending the war in Ukraine between Russia and Ukraine. Hopefully, but through dialogue, that something will happen very soon and stop the war with with Hamas and Israel, so we can have a little breather, around the world for a moment. With all that is going on with the weather and everything else, it's too chaotic around the world with the wars and the weather attacking us left, right, and center. So, but one of the major things that actually took place here is that Joe Biden is out, is going out, and this is a major breakthrough in his presidency to be able to negotiate this massive prisoner swap at this moment after he's already finished his campaign and stepping out. So I think it's a great one. Recently, our former president, United States of America, Mr. Trump, just said that the only person who can do this is himself when he's elected. So this is really like a shot on his foot, one of his left foot. I think one of them toes fall off when they gunshot.
Thank you, George.
Hit him there. So that's what it is we have here.
Good update, George. Thank you. Is there anything from the Russia side? How does Russia see this?
Yes, it's a very good feat of diplomacy. Congratulations to all sides that have gotten back their citizens. But it also shows much more sacrifice that Russia has shown in good faith by allowing more of the Western people, 16 to 8 of their from their side, making it 24. But this happens almost monthly, weekly with Russia. Russia has a good attitude of agreeing to release other prisoners for their. It's actually a very regular thing for Russia to do. Russia does this with Ukraine yes, Russia does it with Ukraine. Even though a war is going on, they do it on a monthly basis. They exchange prisoners on both sides, sometimes 50 up to 50 at once. So for those who are not used to it, it may seem like news, but if we recall this current Ukrainian conflict, when Yanukovych was overthrown before taking over Crimea, there was a deal that was struck between Russia and European Union before the Maidan protest. So you can see, and in that deal, Russia agreed with Yanukovych that he was going to organize an election and leave power if he loses. But then there was that Maidan protest that led to the annexation of Crimea and the leading bombing of the Donbass residents and the conflict we see in Ukraine today. So there's always from the Russian side that first diplomatic route, and then when it doesn't work out, and then they obviously show you that the other side is also possible.
Wow, thank you, gentlemen. Let's go.
Let's put our hands together for Putin. I really like this what he did. Yes.
Okay, that's
for Putin or for Biden.
But now all the way to South America.
Both leaders.
Yes, all the way to South America. South America, Venezuela is burning now. And somebody said something earlier on in our group chat. America is interfering. We don't want this. The opposition candidate Edmundo Gonzalez is being taken as the official winner. And the other man, Maduro, is just maneuvering, trying to stay in power with all he can do. So this is causing some chaos in Venezuela. The people suffers. Raji, you follow this international news. What's your take on Venezuela?
Yes, please, is my audio good? Because
yes. Video spectacular.
Okay. It is a usual American meddlesomeness in the affairs of other countries. America has meddled with Venezuela so much that Venezuela now, with probably the highest storage of crude, is actually in penury. Yes, actually in penury. You see, it is very, very unfair for America to go on meddling in the affairs of other countries. Let the Venezuelans choose their president and let the country live. Let the country live, please.
Let the Venezuelans choose their president and let the country
can I comment on that one?
Is there anybody else choosing?
What I want to say is that what happened in Venezuela has direct relation on what happened in Nigeria, because guess what? Maduro claims. Give me a chance, George. Maduro and the Venezuelan Electoral Commission claimed there was a technical glitch with the uploading of data up to their server. So at the end of the day, he declared himself victorious, and people are saying they want to see the result sheets. And this is exactly the same sort of situation that happened in Nigeria, is it not? And guess what? At the end of the day, the Americans said in Nigeria, welcome, Tinubu. But in Venezuela, they're saying, no, we're giving it to the other guy. So that should tell you something there. We can call them interfering in other people's politics, but clearly, if we feel that they've got an agenda or they're genuine, why would they do one set of things for one lot of people and do another for another lot of people? So I'll leave it to the audience to decide.
Yes, before you speak, George, what you're seeing there, viewers, on your left hand, it's Maduro, the man that says he won, and on your right hand is Edmundo Gonzalez, and this is the American pick. So, real war, real head-on political collusion, and it doesn't look too good in Venezuela. George, you were saying something.
Yeah, I mean, I was just saying that we keep on saying America is interfering. America is not interfering. America just say, given the overwhelming evidence, it is clear to the United States and most importantly to the Venezuelan people that Edmundo Gonzalez Ureta won the most votes in Venezuela in July 28th presidential election. So this is what is being reported, that the overwhelming evidence points to him winning. So it's not like they are interfering. They're not interfering. They just, they might have taken some observers over there, so that's what they're saying. They're not interfering in the election. They're voicing out what they think actually happened. So whether there is a political or diplomatic reasons for that, I do not know.
This is the uniqueness of this network.
Hello?
Okay, PD, let's hear you.
Yeah, you see, in everything, America will always protect their interests. So they protected their interests in Nigeria and protected their interests in Venezuela. Now, I want to say, I like the way Femi brought Nigeria and America. Another thing I want us to learn from this is this. You see, they were protesting, and their military forces used tear gas and rubber gun on them. They didn't use live gun. But if it's in Nigeria,
Venezuelans are dead, though. Venezuelans are dead, though. Go and find out.
Anyway, many are dying in Venezuela. Many are dying.
Go and find out. Live bullets.
Okay.
But we also had situations where the police were joining the protesters. They were pulling off their uniform.
They gave up their uniform. They said they are not touching people. Can Nigerian police do it? They can't.
Look, do you know? Can I just say something? I would like you. The thing is, we really vilify our police, and I think it's really not correct, because they are doing a yeoman's job. They're there to safeguard lives and property. You understand? You've got a horde of people. Let me finish. Listen. Let me say what I'm saying. If you've watched the videos of what's happening in Kaduna, Gombe, and everywhere else, you think the policeman's just going to stand there and his life is not going to be in danger? His life is in danger. And so at the end of the day, if they use tear gas as a first point of call, that's fine. But if they then feel that their life is in danger, the next thing they're going to use is live rounds. Now, if they don't use that, then you're going to have the military. The thing is, if this protest doesn't calm her down, trust me, the military will be coming. So if you think that the police are bad, wait till the military come. So the thing is, we shouldn't make I believe in protests, but protests mustn't be violent.
Okay,
If once protest becomes violent, we got a problem.
There's no reason why military should come in.
Nigerian government made it violent.
We should be very careful
It was never
inviting
violent.
military into our
Nigerian government made it
domestic
violent.
affairs.
Please let me come in before we change the topic. We are speaking about Venezuelan election, and Sir George said something that made me almost go bonkers. That he has evidence. America has evidence that the opposition won. Where is that evidence? Other than speculation in vested interest, speculation according to interest. There's no evidence. What we are saying is that okay, Femi rightly said. There were glitches, there are PVCs, there was no immediate upload. Okay, this is a fact, and this can lead to speculation. But there's no evidence that says that it went this way or the other. So for you to come out and say that you have the result, I think it's wrong. It's absolutely wrong. It's not correct. Also, remember that European Union wanted to also release a statement condemning Maduro, and Hungary vetoed it because they lacked evidence. And he saw it as interference. This is when the EU wanted to do the bidding of the United States in condemning Maduro, but Hungary vetoed it, saying they do not have evidence and it's interference. So this is even an EU member saying, yes, I have access to the intelligence and we really do not have evidence. So I think the idea of ruling in one way or the other is wrong. Also, it's clear that there's double standard in Nigeria case and Venezuela case. Let us not forget that Buhari was seen as a paragon of excellence in democracy, according to United States.
Exactly.
That's when you see Buhari, you've seen democracy. That's what the United States say. You can see no better example once you look at Buhari. That is what the United States say. Let us take this judgment and these cases to understand, reshape our idea of how geopolitics work. Nobody is in Nigerian interest and nobody is in Venezuela interest. Let the Venezuelans choose who they want without external interference.
Nice.
Yeah,
So what you're calling interference there is because they say because due to overwhelming interest or overwhelming evidence.
No. What
are you? No, that's what. As a matter of overwhelming evidence. So are you saying that that they don't have any evidence whatsoever? Because there could be evidence that they have that you and I don't have.
They don't have and they don't show. You cannot say I have evidence, but I will not show you. Yes, the burden of proof is on you. If you come out and you say you have the result, then the burden of proof is on you. You show it to the public and say, "Oh, this is the evidence." You cannot say, "Oh, I have evidence, but I will not show you, and I will make such claims and even put sanctions." So, you can't do that.
So that's sorry. So can I come in here? The guy. Sorry, what's your name from Russia? That's why I believe you're speaking like a double. Godwin. You're speaking a kind of double speak, Godwin, because now they didn't have the evidence to the opposition didn't have the evidence in your eyes to show that they won the election. Yes. Where is the stolen? Hold on. Where is the evidence of the phantom stolen mandate in Nigeria? It doesn't exist. Same way. So if you can say that, because all of a sudden you're trying to say US are playing double standards, but now you see you're saying the same thing.
No. You're getting it wrong. I have never said for once that anybody's mandate was stolen. Please don't quote me wrong. I've never said that even once. What I have always expressed here on this show every time was that I am disappointed in the electoral process because of the non-immediate uploading of results. Like in Nigeria,
absolutely.
And Venezuela, that is what I am disappointed about. And I've also said here on air that it is good for voters to believe in the electoral process. It is the duty of the electoral committee to make the people believe, which is obviously this was unsuccessful in Nigeria and unsuccessful in Venezuela. This is my position.
Godwin, I'm bolstering your point in that they do have the evidence should prove. That's the point I'm making.
Yes,
and I'm saying that where is the evidence in Venezuela and in Nigeria of the stolen mandate? It's just all I'm saying.
Yeah, but I have never said double standard here. I've quoted that the same thing that applies for Venezuela applies for Nigeria. Show the evidence.
While all these occurrences are happening in the world, remember the Olympic is going on in Paris, and there are updates coming from there. Also,
what is that?
Goodwin, is there anybody that wants to say anything about the Olympics? Do you have any?
Yes.
Yeah, I was in France. So I was in France and I watched Nigeria. We lost gallantly to the Spanish team. That was a sad one. But we hoped that we were going to win against. I'm talking about the Falcons now, and I hoped we were going to win against Japan, but we lost that one 3-1, so we're out. And the D Tigers also lost against. That's the basketball team. They lost against France. So there's one thing that's happening now that's really going on in the Olympics. Is there's a bit of a scandal between in the boxing, the female boxing. There's an Algerian boxer who defeated an Italian boxer who she decided to throw in the towel because she said that the Algerians punches were too tough and that they're thinking that her testosterone are too high. She must be a man, but really she's a woman, and she couldn't take the beating. So now people are complaining that some women, maybe like the African women, have got higher levels of testosterone than the European ones. I don't know.
No, it's the power of fufu. It's the power of fufu. The power of fufu.
Thank you, good update. Good update from France. Good update from Paris. There's more news.
Help us out. There's an allegation.
Do you want to finalize? Do you want to finalize on what's happening in Nigeria?
Do you know that some of the people who are supposed to enter for this Olympic did not enter? Are you people aware?
Why?
Yes, in Nigeria. Like Nigerian national champion in the women 100 meter that's supposed to enter did not enter.
Why?
And now our inability to do the things right.
Yes, administrative shortcomings. Shortcomings. Yes. Thank you.
Are we aware
it's
of
part
that?
of bad governance. Part of bad governance.
Of course it is. Yes, it's part of it.
I'm agreeing with you.
Nice.
I'm agreeing with you. Do you want to update on what's happening in Nigeria?
Yes. We're coming on a full broadcast for that. If you guys want to be
the protest has started. The crowd in the north is much.
Yes.
The crowd in Lagos is much. The protests they too have already started.
Can I tell you what's happening?
Showing live here. They too. Right.
Yeah. So what's happening now is the Ojota, the people are amassing. Also in Abuja, the people are amassing. What's happening in Lagos is that people are saying the protest is meant to block the roads and that they're not going to go into the the place that they're supposed to, the park, the Freedom Park. They said they're not going into the Freedom Park. They want to protest on the road. So to me, that's going to be a recipe for disaster because the police have to protect freedom of movement and they have to clear the roads. So if you see tear gas and all that happening, you can see the protesters are not following the court order, which is insisting that they must go into a specific area to do their protest. So this is if you come to equity you must come with clean hands. So if the law,
can I say something to Nigerian government? They should stop trying to stop this protest. But rather, let them do, even if it's one or two things, let Nigerians see. Nigerians themselves will start talking to people to go off the road. But trying to stop this protest is not the best.
That's what they did. That's what they did in NSAS. They blocked so many roads. And I'm just saying to you,
they did not block
you
anything.
Can't have
Femi,
you're going to have
the truth. Nigerians
they blocked Lucky. Were you at NSAS? Were you at NSAS?
I was there from day one to last day.
How many cars Amas went through Lekki Plaza when they were blocking it? For how many days?
Is the only Lekki the only way to Island?
No wala.
Viewers, listen, we have to go link up now, straight up with this show, and link up with our partner station to do this. So you are seeing live coverage from Arise Television. Arise Television is giving us live coverage what's happening this morning.
That's Ojota.
Yeah, this is Ojota. I think the police security men are there, and some people are also making statements. So If you want to be part of this, you can hang on. But if you have other things to do, yes, you can take your leave and probably will come back again when you can. So, viewers, this is it for today. We have done our International Friday update, and we want to go now into the protest, day 2 of the hunger protest and bad governance. Thank you.
Sorry, Mark. May I just make one statement before we go?
We will start
Please.
with some international
We should congratulate Tinubu's government for creating a problem that they could have been prevented. And now the whole country now is now facing 10 protests that shouldn't have happened in the first instance. Congratulations to them and thank them for.
Exactly. Congratulations. Femi, send now words to President.
Hold on. I equally want to.
He has done well.
I want to. Hold on. I equally want to congratulate the protesters who have proven yet again that the protest was inevitably going to be violent. They've proved it now, and we just pray that less lives are lost. Let's pray. We pray. Let me finish now. I didn't interfere when you spoke now. I didn't interfere when you spoke now. Let me finish. Let me finish.
Luckily, I can't hear anybody.
I want to pray for the lives. I want to listen. Let me finish. Let me finish. Bibi, kilo day now. Bibi, Biko, please. Listen. Bibi, listen. BD, I want to pray. I want to honor the lives of the dead protesters. May their souls rest in peace, and may we not see many more lives to die needlessly in the forthcoming days. That's the honest truth coming from my heart. Okay.
The truth of the matter is that if the protesters came out and said, give a signal, we are going to do this for 10 days, and the government wanted to engage them in a civil manner with diplomacy and with talks, it would have been better. What you're seeing today is the demonization of these protesters, number one, and then also making sure that they bring every anti-protesting guru out there. You know, the Oro Festival, you know, Asari Dokubo, the big boy from Rivers or whatever where he's from, and all those type of things. That all these things that were being done was being done against the protests rather than appealing to them or working with them. They started, you know, up until today. We know what happened in Lagos. We know what happened with Oro. It happened during the election, and it's still happening today.
George, there's something you've not heard. Vice President called us idiots. They said he will be in his house eating and drinking while we waste on protest ground. Can you imagine our leaders?
Yeah, those are very insensitive. Those are very insensitive statements. But the idea that they didn't speak to people, the IGP met with some people and they've asked who are the organizers. Who are the organizers? They remain faceless. They don't want to make themselves known. They want to stay on social media because they know that if they come out, there's a responsibility that they're going to have to account for. So they have tried. The government has tried to meet with them. The government has tried to meet with them.
What you just said. Now, let me tell you, Femi, they are not looking for the organizers to converse with them, to talk with them. They are looking for them to bribe them, and when they refuse to collect, they will not threaten them and do what they know how to do. That's what they are going for. And that's how you feel. What is happening in Nigeria now, we don't have organizers. Everybody's hungry. People are dying. So there's nothing like organizer. Nobody's telling you that when you go to the market, and 1 tuber of yam is 17,000 naira. Nobody's telling you.
BD, why are you there protesting?
Add something, please. This protest. Protesting is. I can't say I'm against or for protesting because you can't stop people from protesting when things go really, really bad. I mean, you cannot make life so difficult for them and at the same time stop them from protesting. And obviously, if 1,000 people are going to protest on a main road, is the road not going to be blocked? Are these spirits? Are they going to protest in the football stadium? Or are you going to give them tickets?
Yes.
Even the football stadium. Yeah, okay. If they will protest in a football stadium, would they not be obstructing the match that's supposed to go on there? There's no
There's
way.
no match.
Well, would there not be match if they're going to do this for a couple of days? Is the stadium going
There's
to be
no
out?
match.
No, I'm just saying.
Yes.
Just get my point. Get my point. Don't be too defensive. I'm just trying to be logical here. I'm saying you cannot. Life cannot be so difficult for people. They have no other way to vent out their anger. They cannot commit crime. I'm not saying those that there are some that may have. I'm saying the generality, generally speaking. You can't stop them from protesting. Now, if they are going to protest and they are in sufficient numbers, how can they not be obstructing something? Even if it's the match they're obstructing, even if it's going to be the cars, even if there's something they are going to be obstructing. And if they're not obstructing anything, for example, then it means that there's a lack of utilization of that thing that they are not obstructing. Because whatever they are not obstructing with such numbers should have been put to good use. So I'm just trying to say that the government and the people should find a way to dialogue, because their concerns, there's no doubt that there's high inflation. There's no doubt that standard of living of people is disposable income is that low now. There's no doubt that some of the statements made are insensitive. But there has to be that dialogue. You can't stop them from protesting. At the same time, you cannot just sit in your house and be eating good food and rubbing it on their faces that, there's nothing you can do. I mean, it's extreme. It's too extreme.
This type of attitude. Hold on a second. This type of attitude, this type of blatant disregard for the people's feelings, like what Senate President just said. Those are the things that fuel a lot of anger, a lot of people, and this is why you see that all of a sudden one day you will see something that will happen in that country, and then people are wondering, oh, what happened? Why did it happen this way? But these are the little blatant disregard for people's emotions, people's concerns, and they just speak as if they have no objective reasoning sense whatsoever. You are the Senate President, and you say, I'm going to sit in my house, I'm going to be eating good food, and you guys are going to be out there. What kind of attitude is that? This is the same man who went and did his birthday in a stadium using our money. Yeah. Or whether the money he stole.
That was reckless.
People are dying of hunger, and you're there, just doing whatever that you want, and that is what is happening today.
Yeah, I put a question to Femi. How do you expect them to obstruct something when they come out in such huge numbers?
I'm glad that you asked me that question, because I'm going to answer it for you. I live here in the UK, okay, in London. We have had tens of thousands of people protesting on a weekly basis in central London because of the war in Palestine, okay? It didn't stop people from going about their business. It didn't block the roads. What they do is they go on a procession, and they're guarded by the police, and they follow a route. It is predetermined, and everybody knows that this is where they go, and they warn everybody. So if you weren't going to go that way, you would have been pre-notified that on that protest, you understand, between this time and this time, okay, and it's marshaled through to the end destination. It could be a park, it could be a venue, and that's what happens in organized countries. And that's what I'm saying. We need to change our laws on public order and stuff like that, because these are the kind of laws that happen in most countries. You can't have unfettered protest any way you like, willy-nilly. It's ridiculous. It can't serve any country well. It can't. No. You can't do that in Russia. I know you can't do that in Russia.
As a report, that point, yes. So let me
say something.
Baby, you need to come to Nigeria.
Say something.
I'm coming.
Can I say something?
For example,
Can I say something? Can I say something? I want to echo what Femi is saying. I want to echo what he's saying. I agree with you in this. We do protests here. But before you do your protest, you have to go to the police and get a permit from the government. And they will tell you where to protest. And if you have to, do a process, the police will follow you along the way. They will manage the traffic while you guys are going. So that is the orderly way to do things. And I believe that if the government did not start trying to stop them or to bring protesters, then maybe they would have done this in a very mannerful, civil way, and it would have been easier and better. But the problem is you have to trust your government. You have to trust them. When you come out already and begin to demonize them, where is the trust? When you already come out and start bringing the oral religious people and bringing all kinds of anti-protest protesters, what are you doing? There is no trust between you and them. There is no dialogue between you and them. That is the major problem we're having here. I wish it was done in an orderly way.
Bidi, I'll let you. Let me just finish with what I started with Femi. Femi, I'm in support of what you said, and what you said even about Russia is also true. There's organized protest. My point is that you have to establish that dialogue with them. They have to see you as trustworthy. It is not a matter of organized country or not organized country. This way you're also wrong. Because in Paris, nobody cares about telling the police where they are going. In Paris, every single day there's a protest. In the United States, nobody also wants to tell the police they are protesting. In the United States, they will organize, they will hold their protests, disorganized in campuses as they like. In US and France, it has nothing to do.
It's not true.
In US, it's true. In the US, they protest in very disorganized way.
But if you're going to block the highways, you have to have a permit, like what he said. But let carry on.
What I'm saying is that there has to be. I agree with you in that there should be a communication and dialogue in terms of the pathway and plan of protest. But I'm saying that it's not a function of an organized or rather a so-called Western or African or banana republic. Rather, it's an ingrained trust between the people and the security forces. There has to be that established trust that, yes, that if they do this, they'll be allowed to protest. They will not be singled out. They will not be. There has to be that element of trust, like as Sir George also tried to point out.
Exactly. See,
Godwin
has actually answered some of the things I want to talk about. Now, let me tell Femi, me, I like answering my question with activities. Yesterday, when they were in Ojota, they tried everything to confirm them at Ojota. When they were there, people came out and they were protesting. And they started moving from Ojota towards inward to Lere Island. They got to a point, some group of boys attacked one lady. They started threatening him, some were beating her. And what was that? Omoibo, why have you come here to do? They asked you not to come out, and you come out, you left your place, you came to protest and destroy things. Do you understand? And the lady was, and the police officers, they were there, and they did not do anything. Based to what Ibe was saying. Do you know some of these states refuse to grant some people who went that they want to protest, they refuse to grant them that access. And they defied that and they went into the streets. So you see, it boils down to trust. When people don't trust you, they won't listen to you. But when people trust the government, they will listen to them and obey them. Now look at what you say in the video that Massive Mike said to show today in Ojota. They're already out. It's not what the police officers are doing there. They are the people that will start the problem now, and they will blame it on end bad government protestants. See, most times it is not about the people, it's about the government, the military, the policemen, the way they go about this. They are the one who actually incite this problem, and they will not blame it on protestants. So please, forget Western world. We are not Western. We are not Westerners. We are not that educated. Because if we want to be educated, we should start from our government first. When the government gets educated, when my president gets educated, my VP who is calling me idiot for protesting that I'm hungry, educated, my Senate president who said he will be in his house eating and enjoying while I keep myself out there, get education. Hey, then me too, I cannot stand up and get educated.
Can I say something? Yes. Please. Okay. Let me be the devil's advocate here. Let me be the Tinubu that should have been. Fellow Nigerians, in our democracy, the right to be heard is fundamental. I assure you that your voices matter and your concerns are taken seriously. Peaceful protest is a constitutional right. I am committed to ensuring that every citizen's voice is respected and considered in our nation's journey towards progress. I want to thank you for going out there to protest, which is your constitutional right. But I am also listening to your concerns, and I will endeavor to answer those questions. I would like you all to go out there, if you decide to, protest in peace. Let the police who have provided for you, the police officers who will actually protect you and make sure that everything is done decently and in order. I want to thank you. I am your president, and I will endeavor to ensure that your concerns are being met. I would also ask you to be patient with me, because what I inherited from the former government, though APC government, is still, we are still working on it. Your concerns is our concern. When we succeed together. Please, let's not destroy properties. Let's not go against the rule of law in our country. This is the way we want to protest. I am with you all the way, and I will remain with you until I finish what I started. Thank you. I am Mr. Abbola Ahmed Tinubu, your president. Thank you.
I'm getting a ticket for 2026.
No, Martin, hold on, let me answer now. And you end with, hold on, and you end with God save the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But let me just say to you, yeah, all what you said is fantastic. All what you said is fantastic, and maybe you and I should become the speech makers for the president of Nigeria.
Yes,
but do you know what? The issue is that, you see, this is where I have a problem with Nigerians. All what you said is fantastic, but you're speaking to the minds of people that are not listening. The idea that these are peaceful protesters going humbly to protest, I'm just telling you, is not reality. And you are from Nigeria, BD. When you go on a protest, you go there. Hold on, let me finish. I'm just saying my own. The people there are not going there to protest. They're going there. I'm going to show them. We want to destroy this. That's the attitude that they're going to. Many of these people are uneducated, uninformed, especially in the north. They haven't got food. All right, we're going to just go there. We're going to show them. And they'll do mayhem. And whatever you say as a president or whoever, they're not listening to you. I haven't got any food. I can't eat. I don't this. That's all they're concerned about. So that's the issue. Now, but what the issue is,
gentlemen, if you don't mind, we could listen to the IGP of police, the police IGP, and hear what he's saying. It's a live broadcast. We could just hear him, then we'll come back. Listen, we're here today. This is what we're doing, and viewers, you're tuned in. So let's hear the IGP.
And cooperate with the police and other security agencies during this challenging period. Your safety is our top priority, and we will continue to take all necessary measures to ensure continued peace and stability in our country.
Well, Publicity Secretary.
That's it.
Yeah, I heard him before. He spoke before.
Honestly, what Femi said, fairness to the South. You see, this protest is going the way Nigerians want it to go in the South. It's been peaceful. Like I said earlier, what we are seeing in the North is what we have built over the years in the North. These people lack education. They don't even know the meaning of protests and riots. What they have come to exhibit is act of rioting. Do you understand? So the northern leaders should take responsibility of what is happening. But if you look at in the South, we are doing peaceful protests. How it's supposed to be.
For now,
if anything that see what the IGP is saying, it is the Nigerian government that is trying to spoil things, not Nigerians. I'm telling you, Nigerians are with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. They just want him to do something differently.
Bidi, I can maybe believe you, but let me tell you something, yeah, Bidi, you're in Nigeria, and I'm just telling you, there are miscreants, area boys, Agbero's people, they're just waiting for that opportunity to just go out and unleash terror. I'm telling you, they're waiting right now. So any little excuse in the South that will give that spark, man, it's going to go up the same way like the North. They're just as crazy. It's just that right now, most of the leaders have told them, hey, you guys will take them easy. Go to the Southeast, not in the Appendale. They are eating akuko chicken and ikobi. They're not even bothering. Anyone where you want to do, make you they do. They know they do anything. For the South, people, what's happening in the South? Let me tell you Lagos. Let me tell you why Lagos hasn't blown up, and I'll tell you why it hasn't blown up. Lagos hasn't blown up for two reasons.
You know why it's like that in South?
I know why it is, but I want to talk about Lagos. Lagos, I know why it is. But let me just say Lagos, then you can talk about Southeast.
Do we hear
Lagos,
from the governor of Taraba State?
Oh, go ahead.
Taraba State.
Go ahead, and Bidi, you can tell us about the Southeast after. Okay, I'll keep quiet.
Thank you. Sorry.
I will make sure that we do all that is necessary. We will make sure we do everything that is necessary as quickly as possible to help all of you. What I want you to do is to organize yourself. How we can reach out to you, because I don't want anybody to cheat you. I want to deal with you directly.
Now, these are just 5 minutes sugar-coated words. George, do you agree to such? Do you agree to sugar-coated words that doesn't have substance? I mean,
okay, listen to this. Listen to this. Listen to this.
Okay.
People are people. People come with diverse emotions and needs and desires. It is up to an active leader to find out what is it that is causing these people this pain. They've been complaining, they've been talking. There are ways of appeasing people. If you can't win them, join them. There's a way this could have been done. You would have seen masses hailing Tinubu today. I am telling you. You see, when the value system of the oppressor quite naturally will become that of the oppressed. Because the oppressor's point of view is always in the mind of the oppressed. They become what they hate. If Tinubu had come out to talk to the people and just, just appease them, I hear you. Your voices are very loud. If you want to still continue to protest, go out there, protest. I have provided security to make sure that you are not hurt or nobody hurts you or will come against you. But I'm hearing you. I'm working on this. We will bring back companies in Nigeria so that there will be employment. We will create schools where we can actually, instead of giving you this school loan, we can give you grants to go and learn college, hands-on, on how to be a bricklayer, how to do your electrical work. All these little things. You will see that people will begin. Tinubu will be a champion among the people. But when you will assume that George, you don't care.
Yes, George, good talk. But also, Femi, BD, and George, it's time we also look at something. Number one is our number. Nigeria is a big country. Nigeria has large number of people. Do you see the youths when they come out on this rage? Those plunders and all these miscreants? You see the number, and that's nothing compared to when you're inside those locations, when you're in the north, Kano, Kaduna. I schooled in the north, and I know the number. Now, what I want to say is our leaders are making a big mistake. The mistake they are making is they are not checking little things that could stop all of this thing that is blowing up to our faces now.
Exactly.
Now look at the Taraba governor has come to say those sweet, flowery words, and he will go and he will even laugh at them and jeer at them and go to his office and eat and have his own good time. And the day keeps moving on. We keep finding ourselves in the same position. We keep finding ourselves in the same thing. And one day Nigeria might just stretch. I mean, it's this a reality. Nobody wants it to be like this, but the leadership is making the error of not checking little digits, little signs before it comes to this.
You said that the little foxes is what destroys the vine.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is this: with this particular governor coming out to talk right now, I can guarantee you his presence, his speech shows concern. And I can tell you that a lot of people that might be migrants that want to destroy things might not even do that, because the governor has come to show concern. But when you ignore people, they will assume that you don't care. And that's exactly what is happening in our country. I know that, you know, go ahead.
You have to look at it this way.
You know why it's so, Mike. Femi said it earlier that that was the body language of former president.
Let's see some live. Let's see some live.
Let me just finish what I wanted to say.
And that was exactly what Tinubu has herited, calling the bluff of Nigerians. They don't talk to them. Now they are protesting. Nobody even care about them. You've said it, don't protest. And why should you go and protest? And the next thing you're doing is sending the police officers to go and interrupt them. And they're not even interrupting them normally. So their actions can incite counter actions. And that's exactly what we're having.
The police are doing what they're supposed to do in terms of they are supposed to go out there to try to quell it and control. There's no doubt about that, because there's no predetermined agreement. But nevertheless,
Sir Godwin, that is not controlling. If you saw what happened in Nigeria yesterday.
No. I'm not saying they are doing a perfect job in that, or even a good job in that. I'm just saying that they are doing the first reaction that they're supposed to do. Maybe the result is not good because lives are lost. There's no negotiation. There's no agreement between, as Femi also pointed it out, and I pointed it last time. But all the same, they are trying to quell the protest. But the point is the insensitivity and lack of dialogue. And I don't really think that Nigeria will stretch. And the reason why I think so is because all the protesters are not speaking the same language. I mean, the whole in other places where they've had this protest, maybe I'm not as optimistic about the protests as I should be. But from what I've seen in other countries protesting, they are speaking the same language in terms of what they are suffering, in terms of their expectations, the goals of this protest. But this protest is divided along party lines, along tribal lines, along all sorts of lines, religious lines. Okay. It's really difficult for me to see a real
talk. Yeah. Can we hear? It's good we connect with the ground situation. Can we hear the Abia State Governor speaking? Is that okay?
That's good.
All right. Thank you.
What every part of Abia needs presently is a high sense of order and peace, so that citizens can go about their lawful businesses while we continue to push for the stabilization of the economy using less disruptive means, including regular engagement with our leaders and representatives at the various levels of government. I would at this point call on parents, religious and traditional rulers, youth leaders, and persons of influence to join the Abia State government in appealing to our young people not to lend themselves to any activities that could threaten the peace of our communities.
That's it for this special edition of News Track as we cover the August protest.
We've heard him there. Some states are not going with the protest. Some states really don't want to. The Southeast has come out categorically declared that nobody should protest in the Southeast. You know,
BD wants to tell us why that is the case.
That goes to what
I can tell you why it's the case. Let me tell you why it's the case.
BD was going to answer now. Then I have my own statement I wanted to make.
Let me just tell you the reason. The reason I pointed it out.
BD was going to do that already. Remember, before you spoke, George, she was going to speak, and I was going to speak. You want to dominate this show, George. Now, wow.
To dominate too. I just want to point out what I like to just.
No, they protest for here. No, they protest for this place, bro. You they protest you. I know,
No, but what I'm saying about the division in terms of the protest along party lines, regional lines.
Let BD tell us why they're not protesting in the Southeast.
Why they are protesting is what is very, very clear to each and every one of us. But you know the kind of life we live in Nigeria. We always try to pretend that we don't know some certain things exist. The Igbos, over the years, every time have always been the sacrificial lamb in Nigerian protest.
A scapegoat. Yeah, you
understand. So, even before I was born, I don't even know about 1960 protest, but today I hear it is Igbo protest. NSAS, which I saw what happened in the NSAS, they blame it on the Igbos. And every time Igbos suffer the aftermath of these protests. Do you understand? See what happened yesterday at Ojota? A lady came, and just because she looks like Igbo, she's even Yoruba, they started threatening her, started beating her. And Igbo, what are you doing here? So because of that, they said, please, don't protest. Even before the protest, we saw it. Bayanonoga, a whole spokesperson to presidency, opened his mouth. I wonder why they've not arrested Bayanonoga, because the kind of inciting words he has been using since Tinubu came to power, and they are keeping quiet. The day it will come up is the day they will arrest me. Then I'll say them go and arrest Bayanonoga first. He didn't say anything. Now, the other Babi Jebu came out and said that it is Igbos that is planning this protest behind. So they now said, please, Igbos, stay away. Because you are the targets. And that is why Igbos said they are not protesting. And they proved themselves right yesterday. Have people not seen the trending tag, Igbo must leave Lagos? It's trending. It's trending that Igbos must leave Lagos. So these are the things why they say, please don't protest. Because if you people come out 3, and if you people come out 5, and this is the only one Igbo that is protesting, they will leave every other person and focus on the Igbos. That is why Igbos are not protesting. And it's quite unfortunately that all these things are happening. Nigerians will not open their mouth and say, oh, the way you are accusing Igbos, attacking Igbos, labeling Igbos, it is wrong, because this protest is Nigerian protest, not Igbo protest. Why do people always put it on Igbos? Why it's what Nigerians collectively did. So that's why Igbos are not protesting. Let me tell you,
so
a friend of mine is a Yoruba guy, called me yesterday, early morning by 4:20. 4:20, I was surprised. He kept ringing me. He said, Bidi, where are you? I said, I'm at home. I forgot I should be at home by 4:20. He said, don't go out today. That was yesterday morning. I said, I'm going to say, don't walk. Stay in your house. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that bad?
Okay, so let me answer. So you've talked about why they're not protesting in the southeast, and I'll tell you why it's not violent also in Lagos, and it's something to do with what you're saying. So the narrative from NSAS, if you don't know, like you said, we mustn't sugarcoat all these things. The narrative was that some people were stoking the thing, or anti-Tinubu, anti-ABC, let's go and destroy Lagos, yeah? And you know that was the case because of, you can look at the places that they targeted. They targeted Tinubu's TVC, they targeted the bus terminals, and then all you need to do is, at the time when NSAS was live, okay, there was a broadcast from Radio Biafra. If you don't know, go and check it out. And that Radio Biafra broadcast was by Nnamdi Kano. And he was telling people to go and do this, go and do that. Oyinbo is not Oyinbo, it's Oyigbo, and all this kind of stuff. It's on the internet. If you don't believe me, go and check it. Okay, so he was stoking all that up. And then whatever he said they should do actually panned out. Go and attack the Oba's Palace. It happened. Go and attack Oriental Hotel. It happened. Go and attack the police stations. It happened. Blah, 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 and so on and so forth. So after NSAS, let me finish. Let me just finish. I'm not justifying. Don't get me wrong. I'm not justifying anything. This is the narrative out there. This led to what happened in the elections when it was like, oh, blah, 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 blah. You don't see them again. They want to take over Lagos. So that happened again when they were attacking Igbo areas and so on and so forth. So now what's happened now is that, like you likely said, is that the Igbos are seen as the sacrificial lamb and the excuses for other people's pain. So they said, you know, rather than we being the excuses, or let's take ourselves out of this wahala. You understand? Because if they start rioting in Lagos, who are the ones that owns the businesses and the shops? And a lot of them, they are the Igbos themselves. So what these people, like you said, the miscreants they'll go and target them. And they'll use that. You said already that there's was it something about Igbo out of Lagos or something? I don't know what it is, the hashtag or whatever. So some people have already got that in mind to say, yes, we're going to execute that plan now. But thankfully, people with better sense realize that, you know what, we can't allow this to happen, because at the end of the day, everybody's gonna be a loser. So people have said, you know, let's not take part in the protest. And that's why there's relative peace in Lagos. And we pray that it continues, because we need to be more conciliatory and more understanding and accepting of each other, and don't rub each other the wrong way, because it is one Nigeria at the end of the day. And if we don't live together, we're just going to be this is going to be a fire that will consume everybody.
But you understand that of what use is the protest if the whole
Femi, you have proven what they said, that they said that it's people that are doing everything. But let me tell you, see NSAS protest. Let me just say this one. You talk just 1 minute. NSAS protest, I was there. It was that night when they shot the people at this thing, toll gates. That was the night anger that NSAS descended on TVC. It was that night. And now from he said it's okay. I'm not disputing it. And that is what I said. We are not joining again. So I just take the stage.
Of what is the protest if the whole Southeast region isn't taking part? Like I said, we are not really on one voice on this. And what are we protesting for? What are the main points that we ought to achieve? These are the things that I really would love to see. Otherwise, we can't just stop people from protesting. But being optimistic about the results, I don't know. I really don't see it at this point.
Godwin, I'm with you. Godwin. Yeah, go on.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead. Because
can I say something?
In Akwa Ibom, because you are the governor of Akwa Ibom there. Akwa Ibom, there's no protest as well. Nobody protests in Akwa Ibom.
Politics is a function of self-interest.
And actually, hold on. In Taraba State, people were protesting in favor of and this is Bayelsa State now. I don't know if you're watching it now. In Bayelsa, they're supporting Tinubu. Okay. In Adamawa State, there were protests in support of Tinubu. So at the end of the day, people are allowed to protest if they're supporting government or they're against government. But it's peaceful. If you're let me tell you something. If this protest was peaceful, no one will care. If you want to protest 24/7, if you're peaceful, nobody will give a damn. Am I protesting? Love, keep on protesting. But once you know that it's going to be violent, which it is, which we've seen in the north, we have a problem. And that's the problem here.
Nobody cares.
Why did the government preemptively?
Actually protested.
Why did the government preemptively start demonizing the protest by bringing protesters? Because listen to this, there is no excuse for such.
Thank you.
There is no excuse for such. No excuse whatsoever. Politics is a function of self-interest. If your belly is full, but your business is messed up, that's what your interest is. So, people are crying out. It might be regional, it might be tribal, it might be. So, many people are suffering many things. Not everybody is suffering the same thing.
George, do you think that the government of Nigeria is so stupid that they don't have people infiltrating in all these organizations? They don't know what's going on. So I'm just saying, I know you don't want to believe government because of whatever reason you want. But if people are telling you that they have information that this thing is going to be violent, you understand? You should actually think, maybe they have a point. I'm not saying you must believe them 100%. I'm not saying you should believe them 100%.
Listen to this. There was no intelligence of any kind. None.
Okay.
They didn't have nothing.
Okay.
They just preemptively started doing it because they're looking at Kenya, they're looking at Uganda, and they took what happened in those places and want to bring it and demonize what is happening in Nigeria. So there is no intelligence of any kind. None.
Okay. It's like Godwin. Just a minute ago, you said to Godwin, "There's overwhelming evidence that the opposition won," and now you're saying there's no evidence that Godwin knew anything. I don't know what to say. Look, you're not being truthful to yourself.
You're lying.
Understand about this government. See what we should understand about this government. APC government have this attitude of silencing people. In fact, we are complaining of not practicing real democracy. This is when we have gotten to the point of nothing like democracy in Nigeria. APC government would go any far to stop people from expressing themselves, and that is exactly what we are seeing. Over the years, what we have seen witnessed in NSAS and now, I don't think we have witnessed it before in protests in Nigeria. Do you understand?
Yes, we have. You said you don't know what happened in the 60s and 70s, so that's why you can say what you're saying. We've had worse protests in Nigeria.
So
Worst
the one I've
protests.
seen, the one I've seen. See, why are they trying everything to stop protesters? Why are they doing everything?
Look, Nigeria's got a history of Nigeria.
We don't have any history. We don't have any history.
Hold on. I've watched channels.
Well, and government will come out and mess up everything.
Hold on.
Government started it. Let me tell you how they started it. Oh yeah, I've hold on, speak.
I'm saying that if you go on Channels TV, they had a document, they had a piece where they looked at a history of protest in Nigeria and a history of violent protests, whether it's Maitisini protest, whether it's Operation Wete protest, whether it was Ali Must Go protest, all these kind of protests that have happened over the years. This SAP protest, there have been so many protests. But what I'm trying to say to you, there is a history of violent protest in Nigeria. It's not new. This is not new. So if government is telling you that they've got serious information, that they have reason to believe that there's going to be violence, I think we shouldn't write it off completely. You understand? I think that's just been, you're just not being realistic. I mean, definitely they would have information. How truthful that information is. Okay, no. Government doesn't have any information.
They don't have any information. They don't have any information. It is part of the strategy to demonize the protest. It's part of the original strategy to demonize the protest. They started it. They did not start on a good note, and they have continued on it up until now. Let Tinubu come out and speak. Talk to the people. Governments are doing it. Let Tinubu come out and say something.
Now, let me tell you, Femi. Listen. Now, let me tell you. Listen to what is happening. The protest was to start on 1st of August. On 31st of July, we start buying fuel for 1,300, 1,500 in Nigeria. Even as of today, yesterday, I queued for how many hours? I queued for almost 6 hours, and I bought fuel.
Now government caused them, Abi. Now government caused them, Abi.
No.
Who do you think? The protesters. When you know that there's going to be a protest, what are you going to do? I want to stock up on my energy so that when they block all the roads, hold on. I'm going to make sure.
No, Femi, they do this thing now. You're too refined for this. I would divorce you if you start speaking like this.
Don't divorce me. I know go grill.
Nice. Okatiyawo in the studio. Viewers, what we're doing is the day 2 of the hunger protest, SSM Live, the wide coverage. We're partnering also with other sister network, giving real-time update as they roll. Now, gentlemen, listen to this. What we had yesterday was that it's going to be peaceful. Some of those that were out yesterday in Lagos said they don't intend to scatter anything. They want to just express themselves for the day, the duration of time this will last. So this whole jacking up thing, stealing iron, taking food, rice and beans, and it's not the part of the protest. So, and it would be nice that the federal government takes that as the general, as a yardstick, and begin to say this shouldn't hold. Because of a truth, the people have had it up to here and they want to express themselves. So why not just let them express themselves? Then we will be checking on these miscreants, these I don't know what you call them, knuckleheads that are trying to spoil the whole plan. That shouldn't be the yardstick at all. That shouldn't be.
But
it has nothing to do with the protest.
You see, you call somebody, continue calling somebody a dog, they will start acting like a dog.
Exactly.
And if you listen to this. In every man, there is a fool and there is a king in them.
Mm-hmm.
If you appeal to the royalty in them, that's what you will get. Mm-hmm. People plan to protest. The government, the first response or reaction of the government was to begin to demonize and beginning to talk about we received intelligence that's going to be this, and we received intelligence that's going to be that. There is no intelligence that they received anywhere. What it was they were trying to stop the protest.
Let's move on to reality.
Can I finish? Can I finish?
Okay, go ahead, George.
So when they started demonizing them, they empowered those people that they have actually paid to go and protest against the protesters. This is what you're seeing today. And you see it all over.
Are they the ones looting? Are those the ones that are looting? The ones that were paid? Are they the ones looting?
Look at what happened at Tollgate. Lekki Tollgate. Look at what happened. There was a peaceful protest until the anti-protesters came and began to loot and mess up things. That's what happened.
We're not talking about NSARS. I'm talking about yesterday. The ones that looted and killed everybody. Are those government sponsored?
When you empowered the miscreants by telling telling them, oh, this is what is planned. You empower them to come out.
Can we hear Peter Obi speak? Is that okay?
Yes, let's go ahead.
Let's do that.
I think he wants to address.
As you can
I've
see,
seen it.
I'm here in Onitsha. So I shouldn't have, there's no way I could have been in Onitsha and Abuja simultaneously. You know, I've been in Onitsha since yesterday. After my visit to the School of Nursing in Benin, I've been in Onitsha here, observing what is happening and everything. I first want to thank the protesters around Anambra that has been peaceful. And I believe to most parts of Nigeria, it's been peaceful. My message first is what I said to the protesters, that their demand, which is legitimate, must be within the law. We must do whatever we do. As a law-abiding citizen who has always respected the rule of law, I want people to stay within the law, even when they make strongly their legitimate demand, which everybody can see in the nation today. And my appeal at this period is for the president to address the nation.
Thank you.
He is the person that is elected. He is the person who is holding the mandate of the people. At times
exactly.
like this, it's time for him to show leadership and address the nation.
Now, the nationwide protest tagged hashtag.
You know what?
Yes,
I want to give it. I want to give 3 bosas to Peter Obi just now, and I'll tell you why. One, because he's joining with what George and we've all been saying, that the president needs to speak. He cannot be like President Buhari, who just sat down in his house and did nothing. And also the fact that he acknowledged that President Tinubu.
That's ego walking, you know.
He acknowledged that President Tinubu is the president. So that to me is fantastic. And then we need to move forward as a nation now. I think that if President Tinubu can take up the mantle and speak to Nigerians at 7 o'clock tonight, it might mean that there might not be, maybe after Monday, everybody will go back and forget protesting anymore. You understand? You should say to people, I give you time, protest on Saturday, protest on Sunday, and let's get back to work on Monday. You understand?
Exactly.
I think that's what you should do.
Exactly.
Femi, why not get this tip of advice to them? You are with them. You're APC. You're more.
Listen, I don't have any contacts. I don't have any contacts. People, do you know what? People make this misconception that I'm being paid. I've got contacts. I don't know anybody. JJ, I just sit down for London. Now, JJ, I sit down here.
Cool water, you be. Cool water, JJ.
I'm not looking for any appointment. I'm not looking for any contact. I don't know anybody. But I write my stuff, and if it gets to them, then it's great. You understand? And I think I will write something and I'll put it out there. The president needs to speak to the nation right now. If there's no important time than now for the president to speak to people other than now. Okay. If you think about it, since he's become president, what other crisis has there been of this magnitude that he needs to speak to the nation on? None. So he needs to speak to it, and this is now. And like he always does, you know what you need to do when you're ironsmith, you hit the iron when it's hot. Hit the iron when it's hot.
Nice. Okay, viewers, you're still tuned into our program, SSM Friday Update. And what we're doing now is following live occurrences in Lagos, in Nigeria, with other partner network. So it is day 2 of the Nigerian hunger
see his cheek.
protest.
Look, see that man's cheek, and he's saying this hunger is too much. See his cheek. This one get hunger.
No, but don't look at people with their facials. Some people could be, some people have good body coverage structure.
Come on, Joe.
Yes.
Look at his body. Exactly, he looks like a bodybuilder.
Now that way they use George. No, me I know that's not the thing. Okay, so anyway, this is day 2 of the hunger protest, and we are seeing what's happening. But the north of Nigeria is not doing it well. Kano precisely, plundering goods.
So can I tell you something? You know, over in the UK, in the UK and America and places like that, yeah. The way they deal with protest, yeah, the police are very strategic. They've got lots of equipment. They've got lots of tactics that they use in the way that they cajole the crowd in a certain way, the kind of batons that they use, the type of vehicles that they use. They cajole the people into a certain way. You can't go anywhere than this way. This is the route. You don't have a choice, and you have to go down that route. If you go against that route, then you're going to be arrested. There will be dogs. They will have dogs there right now. That if you want to feel some gnashing teeth, come forward. The dogs will deal with you. So all these things, we need to start. That's why I said, when you talk about bad governance, it's about moving the way Nigeria does things forward. The laws need changing, and even the systems that we operate need to be changing. You have to create a situation where you encourage protests, but you make violent protests not it's like on how can I put it? It's not you're not going to have the idea that you're going to do violent protests, because it's not going to be palatable for you, because the consequences of you doing violence is that you're going to be arrested, or you're going to be you're going to be put away. You understand? You will be caught and you'll be put away. People did violent stuff in the UK, that they did riots and whatever. Cameras are everywhere. It didn't matter how many years. It doesn't matter how many years. They caught them and they took them back to their scene of their crime, and they were prosecuted. We've got video evidence of you. You've got facial recognition. You were carrying a fridge from the department store. It was stolen. That's you on such a date, and you're going to be prosecuted.
When it happened in Dublin, guess what? They to a fashion mall and stole clothes and left their old shoes and clothes there. Now, listen to what happened. The Dublin government used those old clothes and shoes, forensic analysis on those things, and picked up
DNA.
Everybody. Okay, you see how the West is judged. Can you imagine that? So everybody, every old shoe and clothes and everything they left became their sellouts.
Yeah. So it should be, that's the word I was looking for. It should be a deterrence. There should be strong deterrence against violent protest. I think protests should be encouraged, and I agree in protest, but I think our laws need to be stiffened to make it regular, so that if you're going to do the protest, you have to follow a route, you have to follow time, you have to do this. The people need to be identified. Also, what about the cost to governance? I know in some countries that if you're going to do certain events, you got to put money down. Because if you think about the cost to government in terms of the number of manpower, all the things that they've got to do, you're costing the state. You understand? So, like if you're going to have an event, like even if it's just a pop concert, you got to pay the state a certain amount because police have to be there. You understand? So when you're thinking that you're going to have hundreds of thousands of people and there's going to be no cost to you, you're an organizer. If you know that you've got to put down, 1 million naira or whatever, each of you as an organizer, and that is maybe that money is a deposit, you understand? You put down 10 million. If you want to do a protest that's going to go beyond this sort of thing, each organizer has to put a certain amount, like 10 million naira each. Then it's a hold as a deposit. If there's damages or whatever, we will hold that deposit. You'll see how they'll make sure that the protesters do right.
You're right. Thank you, gentlemen. You've done extra, guys. 1 hour extra. Beautiful. Thank you. What we'll do is we'll reconvene. We're still following backstage, back end activity. But if you're there, Femi, it'll be nice. Let's come back around 7 o'clock your time.
Okay. Is it the same link or is it going to be a different link?
No. There'll be a different link. George,
okay,
George,
send it through.
Send it out. Yes, I'll send it in. So let's follow them. Actions are still going on, but we have to take a break. Channels is with us, Arise is with us, and we will be back. So viewers, thank you. Hunger Protest Day 2, live coverage. George is there in Toronto, Canada. Femi, in London, UK. Myself here in Milan, and our other colleagues too, BD and Raji, Godwin, and the rest will be joining too. All right, guys. So see you at that time.
Stay safe in Nigeria.
Stay safe.
Yes, George.